I felt like he was trying to persuade me.
Right.
So I didn't feel as if that was his goal, was to kidnap me at that point. I felt that it was trying to con me into sex.
What was your next step?
My next step was to report it to the cops after I had talked it over with my then boyfriend, now husband.
Oh. Okay, so you told your boyfriend, husband, who's a security guard, by the way, great to have around. I should have brought him with you. That would have been nice. Put a stop to everything right there. You tell him, he says, okay, let's make a police report. Then what?
So then I reported it to the police, and they came over and told me that there was absolutely no crime, not even attempted prostitution, which I thought it was at least a very clear attempt at prostitution. He was offering money for sex, and then he was offering other opportunities for sex. So how is that not an attempt at prostitution? But they didn't do anything at all. They didn't even file it as a official report. So the police did not help me, and I felt very scared because there were other girls in the room, and I felt that this is a very typical. The way he said everything to me, it sounded like it was very typical, normal behavior to him, and that I was scared. How many times has this happened, and how many other girls has this happened to, especially those under 18, which were in the room with me. So I did not just accept the police telling me, oh, well, there was no crime, even though I believe that there was. So I reached out to, I think before, I'm not sure if I reached out before the cops or after the cops, but I think after the cops, to the magazine, or to Miss USA. I reached out to them to let them know about Domingo.
I got to tell you this, man. Hundreds of people are arrested in the state of California every single day for pulling up their car, and undercover officers and the decoy officers out there, and the guy offers money for sex, and he gets arrested right there on the spot. Hundreds a day, okay, all over the state of California. So it's just amazing how these cops don't give a damn about, especially young women being attempted trafficking here. And such a widespread, this guy has access to all these young girls. Outrageous. City of Tracy should be put on, the city of Tracy should be put on notice for this and held accountable too as well. You contact Miss, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. You contact Miss USA Pageant, and what did they have to say?
So at first they seemed like they wanted to help. They said, oh, no, we're very sorry that this happened to you. We want to, make sure that we address this and we get rid of Domingo. And so they told me that they got rid of him. And then they told me that there was nothing else that they could do. They offered me some tickets to their live showing, their live Miss USA showing in California. And when I said I wasn't interested in the tickets, I was interested in making sure that this man doesn't work around children anymore. They also offered me therapy, help with finding a therapist, which they never really followed up on. I forget what I was about to say before that. I'm sorry. I do sometimes blank.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. Now, when you contact Miss USA Pageant, the response, was it an attorney who responded? Did they put someone in charge of your case? Maybe Miss USA Security?
It was not it didn't feel like it was a formal investigation, and I didn't feel like I was given enough evidence that he was even let go. And that is why I did the next step, because they had told me that he was let go, but then they said that's all we can do, and they didn't give me any proof that he was let go. Or what they were doing after that to prevent this from happening again. So I wanted to have them investigate it. So I started contacting investigative journalists and reporters.
And what did they find out?
So I contacted a few different ones and had trouble hearing back at first. Then I finally did a YouTube video because I had been frustrated with not hearing anything from any other journalists. And I did a YouTube video exposing them and what happened in my account. Then the YouTube video got a few decent amount of views, and I got someone interested in connecting me with a journalist. And that person is her name is also very like a pseudonym.
Okay.
Because we were never able to identify this investigative reporter. Her name was Jackie Watson.
Okay. And she put you in touch with who?
She put me in touch with a few different people, actually. She put me in touch with a couple lawyers, and she also put me in touch with with the journalist and investigative reporter working with Jezebel.com.
Okay, and did you get any satisfaction from that avenue?
I did. The Jezebel article did come out, and that did help because it got this out there. And because of the article, it did help. It really did, because that's how we were able to find out that, you know, the full story, basically. And there was also connections to another pedophile, basically, Eric DeSando, who was working with them and was not supposed to be because of his improper behavior with women as well, improper sexual behavior.
So this gentleman, Eric DeSando, he's a convicted pedophile?
He's not a convicted pedophile, but he has been reported as having a relationship with a 17-year-old. That is just a rumor, though. There's also the official actions, so it's not more pedophile. I guess the correct term would be
inappropriate.
Sexual deviance.
That's
sexual deviance.
Because I think maybe in the state of California, too, 17 might be do you know the age of consent in California?
It is 18. So,
it's 18.
So technically,
okay.
Yeah.
Then there you go. It's 18 down in Florida, too. Now, do we know for a fact the contractual connection between Domingo and Miss USA how was he getting paid by them? Like, he would bring them a girl, he'd get a commission on a girl?
I'm not sure how it really honestly worked when it comes to that, because he didn't tell me. That's not what he told me. He just was trying to tell me what he could say to convince me to go to Miami with him.
Gotcha. But now, I know you had litigation against Miss USA pageant. Was this ever established? You know, what his legal connection was to Miss USA?
Well, I mean, he was a employee of one of their contracted franchises. So that's how he, yeah.
Okay. Now, you discovered other things about Domingo too. Other shenanigans he's up to?
Could you remind me? I'm not sure.
Well, I know that there was another young lady that had the same experience as you.
Yeah, but she did not meet Domingo. Her experience was with Eric DeSando, who actually did contact me and was trying to, you know, get in touch with me. And he was not supposed to have been working for them. After the magazine article came out, it was established that Eric DeSando had a long list of sexual complaints against him from young women, and that they were supposed to have let him go from the organization in April or May of 2012. And he was still emailing girls, me as one of them, in November and December of 2012.
Okay, so just to set the record straight, Eric DeSantis is not a convicted pedophile, but there were many, many complaints, and he was dismissed or discharged from working with Miss USA pageant because of his inappropriate behavior, reports of his inappropriate behavior.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and some of that was with you. Was he inappropriate with you?
I don't think he had the chance to get it appropriate with me yet. He was just trying to contact me, trying to get in touch with me. We didn't have much of a conversation before the articles came out and all that, before I had everything reported. I had more of a conversation in connection with Domingo Rodriguez, but my friend Miranda, she was actually sexually abused by Eric DeSando.
Now, did Eric DeSando contact you before or after you reported Domingo?
Before.
Before. Okay, so he tried to get his mitts on you before, but then after he saw what happened to Domingo, he backed away from you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did he abuse Miranda before or after you reported Domingo?
Before.
Okay, but now what about after? Who did Miranda report in all this?
She didn't report anything until after the article that I had released with Jezebel came out. It was like she was still processing the trauma, so she didn't say anything to anyone until after that article came out, and then she told me that basically it was like a realization for her And because she realized that what DeSando did, might have been inappropriate behavior, she wanted to reach out and see if they would talk to her about what happened to her.
Gotcha. And you did suffer from this. You've been diagnosed with PTSD.
Yes, I was diagnosed with PTSD, and I think it was either late 2013 or early 2014.
Okay, and now Miranda, can you describe what her situation was?
Her situation, she was also recruited by them. She did not seek them out first thought, but she was living in LA at the time, and she was technically homeless. She was moving there to try to start a new life, to try to get away from an abusive boyfriend. And so she moved to LA.
Came in contact with DeSantis.
Yes. She came in contact with Eric DeSando, and he recruited her for Miss USA through like some kind of grungy chop shop or something like that. They were working out of some really kind of shady garage, something like that, and they recruited her out of there, or he did. And I'm not sure when he offered, but at some point he offered to help her out in her career in exchange for sex. And he said, if you help me out sexually, I'll help you out.
And how old was she at the time?
She was, I believe, 23.
23. Okay. Now, did Miss USA I keep messing that up. No, it is Miss USA Pageant. I got my notes all screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
It is Miss USA Pageant. There we go. Mm-hmm. Did they ever apologize to you?
No.
Did they ever apologize to Miranda?
No.
Do you think
the only thing that they said was that they were sorry that it had happened to me at the time that it had happened, but then I didn't hear anything from them after the fact, and especially after the magazine article and things were more established as facts, I didn't hear anything from them that was sad or anything offering condolences.
Did they contact you after they saw the article?
Yes, they did contact me after the article. I was contacted by Paula Shugart, and she was trying to contact me to get information from me.
Information to do what?
Information about the case.
Did you cooperate with her?
No.
Okay. Do you believe that there are still young girls who are being contacted by scouts and recruiters and shady types that are still being propositioned and trafficked at this time connected with Miss USA pageant?
I believe it's highly likely, and that's why I wanted to speak out about it to begin with, and that's why I just wasn't taking no for an answer when it came to the cops. And so, yeah, I do believe that it's very, very, very possible.
Besides Miranda, have you been contacted by any other young ladies involved with the Miss USA pageant?
Yes, both me and her have been contacted by several other ladies, especially right after the articles came out. We were contacted by several, but almost every one of them has either decided that they don't want to go public, or that it has affected them too deeply to go public, or that they're too scared to go public.
How has it affected you?
It's affected me very deeply. I don't want to get too personal into it, but it's turned my life upside down in many ways.
Yeah, well, that's a shame. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you want the audience to know about?
I mean, I've always been kind of focused on the truth. That's kind of my thing. I've always wanted the attention that fame gives you because of the platform, because of the ability to speak good opinions and maybe help the nation kind of get on the right track. I feel like there's a lot of law right now that's corrupted, or that's being preached but not practiced, and that's written but it's not in effect. So
I understand what you're talking about.